Hello YouTube, welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm NBA Jerry and thank you for watching. I just wanted to tell you guys I really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Something very humbling happened to me yesterday. Bruce Blitz, if you guys don't know him, he is a YouTube legend. It's been on YouTube basically ever since it started. He talks about all different kind of sports. He mainly focuses on basketball and boxing, but this guy's a legend on YouTube. I mean, he's been making videos for years, making great videos. And recently, in June last month, he asked me to be on his radio show, the NBA Hardcore Podcast. And if you want to listen to the podcast or the radio show, it is the second video in my favorites. And that was a very humbling experience. He asked me to be a host on that show, and I hosted the show maybe about 4 or 5 times, had a great time doing that. So yesterday, he sends me a personal message and asked me to check out his background on his page. And I said, okay. So I went and checked out the background, and he made a Mount Rushmore, 4 people on there, of basically a Mount Rushmore of YouTube sports. And he selected, me to be on that. I even tell you, I was at loss for words. I had a tear in my eye for that. I mean, I was very humble, because we're talking about a guy that not only have I been watching for years on YouTube, but this is a guy that knows his basketball. He knows his sports. And for him to pick me, one of the guys he put on Mount Rushmore, that was, wow. I was not expecting that. If you want to see what I'm talking about, it's actually the first video on my favorites. You can check that out there. Like I said, I wanted to thank you guys for that, because if it wasn't for you guys subscribing and watching my channel, that would have never happened to me. And I wanted to say thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Now, at business at hand, Michael Jordan was at a celebrity golf thing this weekend, and he was asked about LeBron James. Now, he pretty much said what I knew he was going to say and what he was thinking. Basically, I'm paraphrasing here. He said that he, in his day, looking at it in hindsight, he would never have called Magic and Larry and asked them to play with him. He just wouldn't have did that. Basically, he said if Magic and Larry would have played together like they did in '92 in the Olympic Dream Team, it wouldn't be really any competition. But then he went on to say, it's a different day and age. These kids have different choices. He's not saying it's bad. He's just saying he wouldn't have done it because he would like to play against those guys and beat them. So that's Michael Jordan's opinion. You guys know how he is. He's very competitive, and that's the big news in sports. My opinion on that is Michael Jordan has every right to feel that way because he comes from a different era. I kind of compare it to, like, how can I put this? Almost like when you go to school. Like, say you went to a school and you're 30 years old right now, okay? And you went to your high school and you went back to your high school and watched the kids play in high school, high school basketball, and you're watching them. And no matter how good they do, you're probably always thinking, when I was playing, we played harder than these guys, or I was better than these guys, And Michael Jordan, being the competitor he is, being an elder statesman in the NBA, he wants to keep the game pure. He just wants the NBA to be competitive. And I know for a fact that he does not like LeBron James teaming up with D. Wade and Chris Bosh. He just doesn't like that. So, but that's his opinion. I respect Michael Jordan tremendously. If you guys don't know, he's the reason why I watch basketball. And to me, he's the greatest basketball player of all time. I had to just address that real quick. But, like I said, my opinion on it is, it's a different age. You guys got to understand something. These players nowadays are not like the players back in the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s. And I'm going to tell you why. They have a lot of different things that these kids in high school and middle school can go to. They got AAUs. They got different basketball camps, different all-star games. So the top players like LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh and all these guys coming up, they all came up together. They didn't play on the same high school team, but they played on, a lot of different, like I said, traveling team, AAUs and things like that. So they have a lot of camaraderie even before they come and play together or play against each other in the NBA. They already are very familiar with each other. McDonald's All-American game, the Jordan Classic game. LeBron's got a high school thing now that he does in the summer. So it's all different kind of avenues for these top players to do. And it's just a different age. You know, the guys, in my opinion, today, and this is just my opinion, they're just not as, I'm not going to say they're not competitive, but they don't have that dislike for each other like in the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, because, you know, when these guys were playing back then, they genuinely did not like each other a lot, and they wanted to beat each other. That's why Michael was saying that he would never team up with Magic and Larry. Not saying he didn't like them personally. I don't mean it that way. He just didn't like the fact that he was not considered the best player in the NBA at the time in his early career, because Magic and Larry had won the championships. He wanted to let everybody know that he was the best, and that's why he wanted to beat them. Now let's get into Jerry's NBA question of the day. Now before we ask today's question, let's take a look at yesterday's question. And if you don't remember it, here it is. Here's my question. Why in the world did LeBron James do the hour-long special, The Decision? Why did he do it in Connecticut? Okay, and the answer was, and you guys voted, the majority of you guys, you know, you guys said it in a different way, but basically you guys said because it was in a neutral spot. You know, because Connecticut was in a neutral spot, and I agree with that. And the best answer goes to, and he kept it nice and simple, was Cleveland's 216 finest. Cleveland's 216 finest. I picked his answer because it was nice and simple. He got straight to the point. Good answer on that. Great job. Now, let's get into Jerry's NBA question of the day. So let's just keep it LeBron. We're already talking about him. So here's my question, folks. By LeBron James teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, in your opinion, has LeBron James hurt his chances on becoming one of the best, if not the greatest basketball player to ever play the game? In your opinion, do you think that, I don't want to say tarnish his legacy, I don't want to say those words, but do you guys think that he, you know, because a lot of people think he took the easy way out, but a lot of people say, hey, he did it because he wants to win championships. But do you guys think that he's hurt his chances of being in the top echelon with Magic and Jordan and all those guys, or even being up there or surpassing those guys? Do you think he's tarnished that? Or do you think, you know, he's made it better? You know, he's made his legacy better because now he can definitely win some championships. Because remember, folks, if he stayed with Cleveland, let's just say hypothetically, he didn't win any championships. He put up all his great numbers, but didn't win any championships. But then he went to Miami, and his numbers may have diminished a little bit, but then he's got 4, 5, 6, 7 championships. Who knows? So let me know what you guys think about that, okay? Let me know if you think he's hurt his chances of becoming one of the greatest, if not the greatest, or has he enhanced his chances of being one of the greatest, if not the greatest? Let me know, guys. Thanks. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And I want to tell you guys something real quick. I always tell you guys thank you all the time, and I tell you I appreciate it, and I tell you, you know, thanks for watching and things like that. And there's a reason I say that, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason I say that, guys, is because the most precious thing you have is your time. And that's something that you can never get back. I mean, you can lose money, you know, things can happen, tragedies can happen, you can lose whatever, you know, material things. But one thing you can never get back is your time. And all you have is now. So for you guys to spend your few minutes with me, I really do appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Because remember, your precious time is something that you can never get back. And for you to spend it with me, that's why I always tell you guys thank you. So once again, for you spending your time with me, the time that you can never get back, once again, I thank you for that. With that being said, take care of yourself. And remember, folks, always, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.